Hello there, my dear. Please do come in and have a seat. I hope you have your sea legs about you. It is a bit rocky in here, but I find that this is the quietest place at the convention where, us girls can just have a little chat. Now, I like to typically do this every year where I offer relationship advice to those who, are in need of a bit of help in the way of love and friendships and that sort of thing. But before we start, would you like some tea? I can brew you a cup. Oh no, it's no trouble at all. Let me just go ahead and do that real quick. I'll be right back. Here you go. Just let me know if it needs any more honey or sugar, anything like that, okay? Good. So, before we start, let me just give you a bit of background about myself. I've been married to the captain for 25 years. We just celebrated our wedding anniversary. Many of the movies and the shows depict him as kind of a bachelor, but I can assure you that we have been married for quite some time now. And rather happily most of the time. But just like any marriage, we've had our ups and downs, and, I sort of offer this little relationship advice session because I'm quite well equipped to speak about the subject, given that the captain isn't the easiest person to live with. He can be quite temperamental and moody, and he is hot-headed. So I offered my services starting about 10 years ago, and ever since I've had the opportunity to meet with a great many people and have a little talk with them about matters of the heart. How's your tea, dear? Is it good? Oh, good. Let me know if you need anything. I also have some cookies and things like that. So, I guess I'd like to start out by just having you tell me a bit about the relationship in question. Oh, yes, only share what you're comfortable, of course. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. And how long has this been going on for, dear? Oh, all right. For quite a while then. And what do you feel is the main issue then with the relationship? No, all right then. No, I completely understand. Many years when the captain and I were newlyweds, our main issue was communication. He can sometimes shut himself off, and I think it's from the many years that he spent, on a pirate ship with other men, and they don't really talk about their feelings in that kind of situation. So really the biggest obstacle we had was communicating how we felt in a productive way, a healthy way. There were quite a few arguments in the beginning there, and it all had to do with emotions running high, and him and myself included at times not being able to express how we really felt or the opinions we had about certain things. And it really is all a matter of give and take, and feeling comfortable enough with the person to open up to them. Well, for example, I'll give you an example here. The captain has a rather expansive collection of hooks, and that he likes to switch out different devices, things like that. And he likes them cleaned and maintained in a very particular way. Smee used to do a vast majority of the cleaning and the prep work for them, but I took it over a number of years ago, just to lighten his load a bit. He does quite a bit around the ship. And also the captain felt that I could maybe do a better job with them. As I said, he is very specific about how he likes them cared for. But right from the start, we had several fights about different things. He didn't like the silver polish I was using, or his grappling hook wasn't in working order when he needed it to be, and it was all a matter of him being set in his ways, and it was a great deal of communication had to take place in order for things to go smoothly. So one day I just sat him down and I said, "Listen, Captain, you need to tell me exactly what you're thinking and feeling in order for me to be able to do things effectively and get the job done. If you want me to care for your hooks, and if you want your codfish stew on the table at a certain time, I need to know these things." And so, we really had a good chat about it. And ever since then, I've tried to keep that open line of communication with him. And I'm not saying it's easy, because there are times when he gets stressed about, captain things. And he kind of shuts down. But as long as you try to open that line again and keep it going, it can really work wonders for your relationship. Oh yes, I know all about being someone with someone who has kind of a bad temper. He does fly off the handle more often than he'd care to admit, but again, just kind of voicing my concerns. Also, I did seek out anger management counseling for him. I had a counselor come here and speak with him about it. We had some couples counseling sessions too that really did make a difference. And of course I had to pay them more because they did have to come to the ship. And in fact, they went on a voyage with us even once, and it was kind of a weekend counseling trip, and that really kind of broke the ice, I think, and made an impact on our relationship, because we were really able to get to the heart of the matter and get to the root of some of his temper issues. A lot of it has to do with his mother, and of course his feud with Pan, and he was taking a lot of the anger out on me, even though the feelings were mainly directed at them. And so it's important to figure out why they have the anger issues that they have, and why they lose their temper so easily, and to help them find healthier ways to deal with that, the rage and the anger and the bitterness. So now, tell me, if you could look into the future, do you see yourself with this person 5-10 years from now, or do you think that it's just not sustainable? No, I see. No, that makes perfect sense. No, I think a lot of every relationship is different, and a vast majority of the time you'll find that what works for one relationship doesn't work for the other. So it's all about finding what works for you two and kind of sticking with it until it comes to a point where it's just no longer sane to do so, or you just don't see it going anywhere really in the future. Yes. Well, I do recommend seeking maybe some counseling if you do feel that that's the right path. And I mean, it can be something as simple as arguments more often than they should be, or just little disagreements here and there. It doesn't have to be anything serious, such as someone being unfaithful or anything like that. Even little tiny kinks can be worked out with effective counseling. You just have to find the right counselor too. But I can give you some names if you like. Oh, no trouble. Another key issue that I found with the captain was, and relationships in general really, was that you really do have to give them space, and you each have to have time for yourself. We're living on a ship, so we have very little room to breathe. If you get in an argument, it's not as if you can leave the house, because you're usually in the middle of the Neverland Ocean or the Pacific, whatever the case may be. So it can be tricky, but it's all a matter of finding inner peace and giving yourself emotional space from the person. For instance, sometimes I had him set aside a little cabin just for me, where I can do my sewing and my scrapbooking, things like that. And I kind of get away there, and sometimes I'll even meditate. And I just take time for myself. It's important to take time for yourself every day. I usually set aside about a half an hour to an hour out of my schedule just to have some me time, and that's really essential. Sometimes even if we're near a port, I'll kind of sneak away and go and get a massage or a manicure, and it makes a big difference. It keeps you balanced, even-keeled, and also it helps your partner to kind of have their own space and reflect upon their own thoughts and emotions. And you know what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder, so little breaks away from each other are really essential, I feel. Well, do you have any other questions for me, dear? Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Yes. And, yes, what I'll do is I'll give you my contact information too, and feel free to email me or send a message, or whatever the case may be. Drop a note every now and again. I'd like to know how things go with you and your partner. Yeah. Well, keep me updated.